Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. We are having an amazing show today. Okay. Felicia, who is part of the Great Tribe community, I'm going to let her explain what she does because I don't want to mess it up. Okay. I don't want to mess up the words, but she's going to come up here and explain everything to us. And we have pre-selected, guys, only because, it was going to be hard for me to just randomly, select people. We have pre-selected people for this process. If y'all love the show that y'all about to see, let me know. Let me know, and we'll see if we can incorporate more of these into the program. I want to say this to you, first of all, happy Saturday. I also want to say today, and listen, guys, I'm fine because you know what? At the end of the day, we all have a birthday. We all know one thing for sure. We're going to have an end date. We may not know when that end date is, but we know we're going to have an end date. And today I went to a funeral, and when the pastor spoke, he said, you know what? If there's anything you can do to service yourself while here on this earth, is learn to forgive. And it touched my soul. I was like, oh my goodness. It was like, learn to forgive. And so the message I will give everybody out there today is I know sometimes all of us, I've done it in my lifetime, sometimes we hold grudges. And sometimes we hold grudges and it be over some little petty stuff, right? And so all I can say is today, moving forward, anybody in your life that you can find it in your heart to forgive them for whatever it is they have done to you, let it go. Let it go. So listen, everybody. Happy Saturday. And first, I'm going to bring into the building Felicia. Felicia is going to explain to you what today's show is going to be about. So let me just go ahead and bring her right into the building. Hold on one second, guys. Hey, Felicia.
Diva.
How are you?
Hey to all the folks who are going to come up here today and get a little insight into their own personal numerology. Thank you, Diva, for allowing me to do this Saturday. I really appreciate it. So just on the front end, I want everybody to know that I did take the time to meditate and kind of focus because when I do this, I don't want to have my own personal energies coming into play. So I try to clear out all of that so that when I'm doing the numerology and I'm listening to the person who I'm providing the read to, I'm hearing you and getting what's within your spirit and your energy. So that's number one. And number two, if you have a pen and paper, and particularly when it's your turn to get the reading, that you do have a pen and paper, so that if you have a question while I'm doing your reading, if there's something that didn't come across clear from me, if there's something that you want to know more about, you would have written it down, and so then you can communicate it back to me. The second thing is for the folks who weren't selected this time, I am doing the full breadth of the numbers. So folks have sent in their full birthdays to Diva, and they were privately sent to me. So I'm doing the entire birth path number today. And the third thing is, when I'm going to give you an overall right now on the numerology, you may want to take notes too, so that you can follow what the numerology pattern is for the people whose numbers I am doing. So thank you, everyone. So the first thing I want to do is just give the guideline that numerology is just that. This is no intuitive piece. There are billions of people born in the world, and as Diva say, we come in and we leave. But there is a number that we come in on. If nothing else, the first thing we come in here on is a number. And one of the things that we can think about is when a baby is born into the world. People want to know the birth date, the weight number. Yes, those kind of things. So that's the first piece that's welcomed in. And then they might say, well, what's the gender? Or what's the gender? What's the birthday? And what's the weight of that baby? So it's always about numbers. And if we think a little bit about scripture, I'm always moved by the one where it speaks about how God even knows how many hairs is on your head. So as I said, this is just a guideline of love and light, grace and peace. And there's nothing to be anxious about, folks. I'm just doing an overall guideline. So I think Diva is going to call up the folks in the way she feels best. And then I'm going to begin the read.
Okay, sounds good. So we'll bring up In My Opinion. So In My Opinion is here. Welcome in the building, In My Opinion. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing and being open.
Now, hi, Diva. Hi, Felicia.
Hey, In My Opinion, I'm so glad to see you here. I'm going to go back.
I did some meditation of my own.
All right now.
Okay. Diva, did you send me her full birthday?
Okay. Did I? Hold on one second.
If not, you could text it to me, please.
Yes, of course. And my apologies, y'all. Y'all forgive me. We'll be a little tighter next time. Okay. Okay, I'm going to text you right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Didn't get it yet.
I don't know. My fingers are being too fat here, and I didn't want to text the wrong thing.
Okay. That's real important.
I just sent it.
Okay, so I have it. All right, In My Opinion, how are we feeling today?
A little good.
Good. All right. So here's the guidelines, everybody, in terms of the individual numbers. So numerology, based on the Christian calendar, those numbers are 1 through 9. You're given a set 1 through 9 at each level that you move through life. A 1 represents new beginnings, a fresh start. I'd love to think about what a farmer plants, how they prepare their season. They look at the soil. They look at what was productive, what was abundant, where they may want to go in the future. So that is what a 1 year is. It's truly a new beginning, a fresh start, an open view of all that's possible, all that's to come, and how we plan for the following 8. A 2 year is about relationships. It's about partnerships. It's about socializing. It's about being easy. Very little drama on the negative end. You appreciate your friends. You appreciate work. You appreciate your own creativity, your own gifts. You go to events, you enjoy them. You're open to maybe something you haven't done before, and you're pleasantly pleased. A 3 year is about pursuing the childhood dreams. Many of us have them. We have our passions, the things that we've always loved, the things that always bring us joy, things that are always bringing us great comfort. So a 3 years going back to those spaces and looking into what was our interest as a child, what we may want to continue to pursue, what we're no longer pursuing. Maybe we want to reintroduce ourselves. A 4 year is about work, always about work. It's about organization. It's about planning. It's about being very disciplined about paying your bills, saving your money, your physical energy, taking good care of your health, not overlooking anything, not dropping the ball, staying focused, being extremely mindful that you feel you may be overworking or maybe too into the deep end of structure, but that's exactly what a 4 year will represent. Structure, work. A 5 year is about taking risk, And as I've said before, there are good risks and there are bad risks. So all risks are not necessarily bad risks. You're open to new adventures. Maybe if you're afraid of flying, you decide, okay, I'm going to go fly out and go see a friend, see a family member. Maybe if you've never went on an ATV, you decide you're going to go do this ATV. You may decide to invest in a market or a CD or a bank account, or maybe you're going to go about and pursue an interest that is a personal passion of yours, but you've been somewhat hesitant to share with the public. Maybe it's like a writing skill, a singing skill, dancing, something like that. A sixth year represents family. And when we talk about family, we're talking about things like barbecues and moving into a new home, a new apartment, talking about getting married, baptisms. We're talking about christenings. We're talking about celebration and good things about the family, not dwelling on a negative, coming together, much like Diva just said, when we talk about forgiveness and we talk about healing. Sometimes we do want to gather, maybe one-on-one, or go make a visit to make amends or bring about it. You might miss someone in the family and you want to reconnect. A seventh year, a seven is God's favorite number. It's the 7 seas, the 7 oceans, the 7 elements, the 7 days of the week, the 7 continents. But the thing about a 7 year is that you must be grounded, because everything is ebbing and flowing, much like the elements, like the universe, like the waters, like the tides, like the weather, the sun, the moon. So I find that a 7th year can be extremely isolating and frightening for some folks because they're not grounded. But if you look at the pattern of the numbers 1 through 9, by the time we get to 7, you should have anchored yourself in many facets, so that by the time your 7th year comes, you have a better understanding that who you are is what and how, where you are and how you're performing in life. An 8th year represents resources. Resources isn't just money. Resources can be land. It can be talent. It could be friends. It's your health. It's your mindset. It's where you live. It's how your family doing, how your children doing, how your parents do. It's all the things that bring you joy, all the things that make your life happen. And a 9th year is closure. A 9th year is when we begin to review what came about in the 1st year, what we're not keeping, what has been holding us down, what we no longer want to carry through. So I hope that that was a good explanation of the range from 1 to 9. So now we're going to do in my opinion. And as I shared earlier, I have everyone's full birthday, but I'm not going to share that on this verbally with you, but I'm going to explain part of the numbers. So her birthday is November 21st. So November is an 11. And 11 is a master number. That's her birth path number. She came into the world, first thing, she has an 11. The only number greater in the numerology than 11 is 22. So she is an 11 in her birth path number. 21, that is the day that she was born on. So a 21 comes at the core. That's the center of who you are. That's the heart of who you are. You take a 21, you want to make everything down to a single digit. 2 plus 1 is 3. Now, going back to that 11, you also want to make that a single digit. That's a 2. Now, she privately gave me her birth year, and I'm going to make that a single number. I'm adding up those numbers right now. Okay. And that is a 7. So in my opinion, you understand how I got that 7, yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we're going to add 2 plus 3 plus 7. And when we add that up, we get 12. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So that is, in my opinion's overall number. So an overall 3 means that most people and I'm picking up from, in my opinion, has that very gentle, loving, caring spirit. It is also the heart of who she is, right? Because she's a 21, so a 2 plus 1 equals 3. So when your heart, the core of you is a 3, and your overall number is a 3, I am picking up that there's a lot of sensitivity here. And the sensitivity throughout your numerology life has caused you some concern because you have a 2, which is that 11. So you have an insight to where some of what people may say or share comes from. But the 3 is so forgiving, so caring, so loving. You don't necessarily want to come at it in a very direct way. The 7, which is the year that you're born, as you could just remember, is God's favorite number. That's all emotion. That's all elements. So here you have a heart of a child. You have this 7 that's full of emotion, and the 11 that has mastered that. I would gather that many people may find it challenging to understand why you know things. And that is just a part of who you are. So, with that, you have to navigate how best to tell people or share with someone what you know without the book explanation of how you know. So now I'm going to do the year that you're in. Now, folks, this is a little bit more complicated. So you're going to take your birth month, your birthday, and then you're going to take the current year, which is 2023, and that's how we're going to figure out what year you're in. Now, in my opinion, birth year is a 7, and the overall year is a 7. So when I add that up, it still comes to a 3. So with that said, in my opinion, you have a 3 at the core, you're an overall 3, and you're in a 3 year. Have you been pursuing something that has been a deep passion of yours since you've been a child?
No.
No. Have you found that maybe you're having difficulty expressing things to people because of the level of sensitivity you may be holding, coming from a very childlike perspective?
Yes. Very hard difficulties.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm looking at this 333 situation. You know, part of the Christian calendar, as I said, January to December, we transition out. We begin the transition in October. So you pretty much got 8 weeks more of this. But as I look at it, and I'm looking at your numbers here, I'm adding up something right now. Be right back. Yeah. Something to do with family. Am I hitting on something here? Something you want
Yes.
resolved. Something that you need resolved that you want resolved.
Very much so. It's chaotic.
It's going to take some work. Now, come next year, you're going to be in a 4th year. A 4 year, as I said to you, is structure, focus, discipline. I think this piece is going to carry over into your next year. And in order to bring resolution to it, you're going to have to plan, to prepare, to work to change it. Now, if you feel comfortable giving me a little piece of what it is on this platform, I could probably provide you with just a little bit more information.
Struggles with my dad.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you prepared to work at repairing it, or you want the emotional reparation? Give me a sense. What are we talking here? Do I want to work at
Um,
fixing it, or is the child just saying, make it right?
I just want peace. That's what I want. It's usually toxic, but it's the only parent I got left, so I'm trying to hold on to him. But he like pushes everybody away.
Mhm. Have you in the past worked at it? Put in a plan of
Yeah,
action? You have. And how did it go?
it always turned out real rough.
What year was that, may I ask?
It's been going on for like 15, 20 years.
Mhm. Well, what I can say based on your numerology was this wasn't the year for the child to seek that reparation, that healing. But as we transition, and I'm feeling and looking up ahead, there may be some kind of outreach you can make during the holiday season, because at that time we will be transitioning and you will be in a stronger place. So the emotional heart of who you are won't be so open to being hurt again or being disappointed. That's a better word here. Disappointment. Am I getting that right? Am I being, did you been
Yes,
repeatedly disappointed?
yes.
Okay. And so when we have repetitive disappointment, it's very difficult to get to the next level because we always feel like we're not being heard and we're not being understood. But I think if you focus in on whatever brings you peace, I don't know what that is. It might be long walks, it might be art, it might be music. I don't know, but you know what it is. Focus on that between now and as we're moving into uh, August, September, October. Come up with a plan of action. Be on purpose about how you're going to heal this piece with your father, and not on the child end of the perspective, but more on the adult woman perspective. How do you feel about that?
Um, it's kind of hard to do it on the adult end when the child end is always the one that's coming up. You know.
Mhm. Well, then maybe some kind of counseling with a professional can help you get the tools you
I
need.
tried that one already.
And then how did that go?
He didn't show up.
Oh, no, no, I'm not talking about for you and your father. I'm talking about you personally.
I've already done the counseling on my end,
Mm, mm,
but they suggested that he come in, and he didn't show up.
mm. I'm so sorry for all the disappointment that you're experiencing. I think we need to ride this out through this year, and me and you, we revisit it again. I think something can be had, particularly in November, because that's your birth life number, that's your pattern life number, and that's when you're going to be very strong. So you're going to be entering into a fourth year, really emboldened in that 11th month, which is November. Okay. I know it's disappointing to hear in terms of numerology, but I think it's a protective measure and I think it's a smart one to wait.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions for me?
No.
All right. Thank you so much.
Well,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you, in my opinion. And listen, we'll be praying for you. Praying for all the best between you and your dad. And I really feel like it's going to work out. So we'll always be praying for you. Thank you for coming up. Thank you for sharing, on this platform. I really appreciate you.
Thank you, Diva. Thank you, Felicia.
You're
You're welcome.
welcome. All right. And we'll bring Leo up next. Okay. Let me just bring Leo up. All right, Leo, you're up.
Hey, Leo.
Hi.
Hi. So,
Hi, Felicia. Hi, Diva. Thank you so much.
You're
for this
so welcome.
opportunity.
You're so welcome. And you know, I've been looking forward to it. So just for a brief for the folks who may have come up since, one is new beginnings. Two is relationships, networking, getting out, socializing. A 3 year is all about dreams and pursuing passions. 4 year is work, work, work. 5 year is taking risk. There are good risks and there are bad risks. 6 years about family, gatherings, celebrations, moving, getting married, baptism, barbecues, you name it. A 7th year is God's favorite year, but is a very emotional year for anyone who is in a 7th year. And an 8th year is about resources. It's not always about money. Wealth comes in good health. Wealth comes in contacts, networks. Wealth comes in land. It comes in incredible talents and abilities. And a 9th year is about closure. It's about finality, is about what we're not going to take on to the next level. As I said before, I was sent the full birthday, but I don't disclose the full birthday. But I do the month and the day. So in Leo's case, her birthday is July. That's a 7. Then the date is a 27. So we want to make that a single number. So 2 plus 7 is 9. And then based on her birthday, it is a single number of 2. So her birth life number 7, the core of who she is, the heart of who she is a 9. And the in life number is a 2. So these numbers pretty much don't balance each other out. There isn't a necessary flow to these numbers. They are not necessarily a balance in terms of resources or abilities or network or anything. But this number 9, that's at the core of who you are, Felicia, that 9 represents judgment. So just imagine your heart is about righteousness. And when the heart is about righteousness and is based on this number 9, the piece about the number 9 is that there's very little room for discussion with this 9. It hears the facts, it makes a decision, and then it shuts down. So when we're thinking about the heart, that sometimes can lead to closing people out or situations out because a decision has been made. However, this number 7 that's coming from the month of July, there is this emotion that comes with the number 7. So sometimes you may be conflicted with the decisions that you've made or that you're making. Now, you've made it from the core of who you are, but then you may step away and you're feeling like, I wonder if I had made the best decision. And then we have that 2, which comes from your birth year. So I'm going to add those up. 7 plus 9 is 16. And then we're going to add 2. And when we do, we get 18. And to get that to a single number, 1 plus 8 equals 9. So we just discussed that 9 in detail. So now we know that there's a double impact of finality. And it's being led by a 7, which is emotion. So my question to you at this point, Leo, do you find yourself making a great many of decisions? And I want you to open your experiences and go back. Do you find a lot of your decisions are based on emotion?
In what area?
In life.
Relationship, friendships?
Your whole life. Is it just your life? I make decisions, because you do make decisions. You make them. You've got this double 9. You make decisions and then you stick to them.
I do. That is very accepting of you to be able to see that. But it all depends.
Mm-hmm.
At work,
Mm-hmm.
I have fought hard because that is my personality, not to make decisions based on emotion. So that's not always been my life. I started out very emotional, but I trained myself to understand that logic and evidence help me most than emotion. So I do not make my decisions solely based on emotions, because emotions lead you down a very messy path.
Okay, so let me I want to do a little calculation very quickly here. Okay, just going to do it very quickly. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so you're on the 5th level. I'll explain that in a moment. So good for you. So you identified at somewhere in your life pattern, and I'm going to guess it was the early 2000s, that you had to make a difference in your judgment process.
Oh, you are absolutely right.
Yeah.
Early 2000s. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
So that was great, because I'm sure you have seen and experienced the benefits of having done that.
Yes.
Right. So now, as we're moving on, I just added the year to the current year. Right. So your birth month is July, which is the 7th, and then I took the 9 and I added those two. That was 16. And then remember, we're in 2023, so I had to add another 7. Okay. And with that, I get 23, and 2 plus 3, got to get it to a single digit. That's a number 5. And if you recall, when I gave the guidelines, a 5-year represents risk. There's good risk and there's bad risk. A 5 year is about adventure, stepping out of our comfort zone, not being afraid to do the things that we may never have wanted to do. Like one of my coworkers decided to go parasailing on their last vacation, and I thought that was awesome. So the things that we're hesitant to do, things that we may have always wanted to do, but we're always so cautious and so afraid, we tend to do in our 5-year. So what risk, what adventure have you done this year, Leo?
None.
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 None. What's driving the none?
I have not been willing to take risk. I have not been willing to take risk, and that is something new. Right now, where I'm at, I am unwilling to take risk.
Okay. So we are coming to the close of your 5-year. So, as I said, we begin the transition in October. We are now in August, and here comes September. September is a 9-month, Leo. So those 9s of yours are going to feel something of an impact come September. I'm coming across 2 dates. The 19th. I don't know.
Of September.
Of September. And I want you somewhere around that time to not be afraid.
Okay, now, Felicia, let's just keep this clear. Risks are there. I have been fighting it back
and
for a long time.
How have you been feeling about fighting it back?
I've made preparations, right? I've made preparations, but I am comfortable with fighting it back only because I know when it happens, I'm gonna be upset, and I don't like dealing with those type of emotions. So I've been holding it back. Because I am an emotional person, I have trained myself not to guide through emotions. So I don't like dealing with a whole bunch of emotional stuff going on in my professional life. And I have been fighting that part back, even though I know it's inevitable.
Okay. Sometimes we want to control what's happening to the point where it's going to happen anyway. And then we have no say so. So either we figure out how we're going to get ahead and make it work for us, or somebody else is going to make the decision and then it don't work for you. I want you to look at September. I'm picking up conversations. I'm picking up conversations. I'm picking up some kind of movement. I don't know what it is. But September 19th, September 20th, somewhere around there. And I'm sensing, and please correct me, because I'm only a vessel here. I'm sensing that when it comes up, you've been shutting it down in terms of conversation. Is that correct?
Yes.
So when it comes up again, can you just listen?
Okay, look, the decision has already been made. It's just all about how it plays out. So to listen is not a problem. I already understood months before.
Okay.
I know what's going on.
Okay.
I just don't know how to execute quite yet. I'm waiting for more information.
You'll know around September 19th. Okay. September is going to be a little lifting for you. It'll be a little bit easier. You won't feel as much tension or pressure, and you'll have greater clarity. I promise.
And what about that relationship with that man?
I think I told you the last time I read the numbers that somewhere around the 27th of July, something was going to go off. And then you told me, yeah, I kind of said, I'm just going to talk now. And I said, I'm not picking up that this is his piece, but this man, I said to you before that this man, I mean, if you want to give me a quick birth month and a birthday, I could tell you where he is.
4/4.
Oh God, the man is a hard worker. Oh. So what, did he ask you to get married, live together? What's going on?
Always. But been there, done that.
He's not changing, Leo.
Yes, you got it.
He's a 4/4.
That's right.
He came in here this way. Right. His heart's that way. He gonna leave that way. He's not changing.
Yeah, not changing.
Not changing. And I'm sensing that the core values between the two of you are not in sync. And when they're not in sync and you having these nines of judgment, if the person is pretty much a 2, if they have a 5 in the birthday number, they tend to be a little bit more flexible when they come to these challenges. You don't have that in terms of numerology. September 19th, around that time.
It is what it is. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome, Leo. It was my pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you, Diva.
You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. And we're looking for that clarity in September. All right. Praying with you too. Thank you so much for coming on the platform and sharing. I forgot. Okay, I think Miss Mac is next.
Miss Mac. Adrian, yes?
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Adrian. It's the first time we're getting to talk.
It is.
Thank you for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
You are so welcome. So have you been listening to the prior two?
Yes.
And you understand how the numerology guideline piece works?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, Adrian, you have an 8 and a 1. 8 is your birth month, 1 is the day that you're born. Your core number, your heart number is a 1. It drives everything about you. Now, let's look at the number 1. The number 1 is, out of all of them, pretty much very simple. It could look the same way on the top and the same way on the bottom. It rarely ever changes. A 1 at the core is about self independence, it's about self confidence, it's about pursuing and taking initiative, always looking to protect the heart, the core of who you are. The 8, which is your birth life number, that's August, represents resources. It's not always about money, it's about wealth, good health, relationships, land, talent, incredible connections, networking, that sort of thing. And now I'm going to add up your birth year. So give me a moment.
Okay.
And that is a 5. So if you have a piece of paper there, you know I got to get it all down to a single digit, right? So the 8 is already a single digit, the 1 is a single digit. And when I added your year, I got it down to a single digit. Were you able to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So when I added those numbers, an 8, a 1, and a 5. Okay, so I got 9 14. So your overall birth number is a 5. So you take risk. You invest. Do you invest?
Do I invest? Not really.
Not really. This overall number is a 5. You have resources and you're investing. What would you say you invest in? Something to do with you, yourself. Do you have a hobby? Do you have an interest? Do you have something that you do that you will take time and money on and invest in you?
I do a lot of like home investing, like fixing up my home. I spend a lot of time with that.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to your personal space, you invest in your personal space.
Yes.
You like it to be a certain way. You like the comforts of it.
Yes.
It generally brings you a kind of peace and a kind of joy. But
Yes.
I'm picking up something. I'm not sure. So here we are. This is the core. That's pretty together. Is this? Let me look at the year that you're in. So 2023. That's a 7, right? Okay. And we take 8 plus 1, which is 9. 9 plus 7, which is 16. And you're in a 7th year. So tell me, Adrian, how did your 7-year go? What was last month like?
In terms of personal life, okay. In terms of work life, chaotic. Very stressful.
When I'm asking that, I should be more specific. I'm talking about you inside, you the person. How did you manage your feelings? How did you manage your relations? How did you sleep at night? How are you eating? How are you moving? Were you aware of certain things, unaware of other things, and maybe not so aware of what was going on?
As far as that for myself, I sleep fine. Everything is okay in that respect.
Okay. Well, congratulations. So you're in a 7th year. It's been pretty much uneventful.
Yes.
And so we're now in an 8th month, which should be a very good month for you in terms of resources. As I said, it's not always about money. It's about investments. It's going to be about land. It's about good health. It's about your relationships. It's about any kind of savings, anything to do with um, banking, everything that you would have done back in, because I'm going to go back to your 1 year here for a moment. Back in 2015, whatever seedlings you had planted back in your 1 year should be coming into fruition this year.
Okay.
Did you find that? Did you find the things that you may have worked on back in 2014, ideas that you had planted, ideas that you wanted to see come about, um, have and came into full effect here in this 2023?
I don't have anything major that I would say has come into full effect.
Mm-hmm.
2014, it was like a major life upheaval for me then. 2015 is when I kind of started getting back on my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And, I would say that I'm comfortable now. That's the only thing I can think of.
Mm-hmm. So, am I hearing you correctly? You made decisions in 2014 and 2015 that may have you in a good space that you're in right now?
Yes.
Okay, good. So your cycle is about to come to an end. So remember the packages 1 through 9.
Mm-hmm.
You are in an 8th year. You're about to culminate this 8th year coming into the fall. We transition into the next year based on the Christian calendar, January 1, 2024. That will be your 9th year. You're going to find that there are things as you transition and come into 2024 that you're going to no longer want to carry through to your next cycle. So you're going to say, well, what is my next cycle? So I'm just going to do a quick number crunch here. I want to look at where you are in terms of levels. Okay. Oh, you're in a very nice place. So you're going to be on a 6th level come in 2024. So you're going to get a whole new package of numbers in 2025. But I want you to remember, 2024 is closure. This is when we're going to review everything, what worked, what didn't work, what you no longer want to extend time or invest in. And it's going to be but I'm picking, is there I'm picking up something. I don't know what it is. What is it? Can something you can share with me? What's a little topsy-turvy?
My career right now.
Oh, okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to make a career move in this transition piece. Someone's going to approach you. Someone is going to talk to you. I don't know if it's about an entrepreneur piece. I don't know if it's about a relocation piece, but you're in a great place to work through whatever opportunities are coming your way and to bring closure to whatever has been troubling you in terms of your career.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions you have for me?
No, because my question was going to be around like my career. Like, what did you see around that?
Yeah. It's a great time for a transition.
Yes, it is.
I see it happening in terms of numerology over a period of, let's say, October through June of 2024.
Okay.
Okay. It's not going to happen overnight because you're a very thoughtful, thinking woman. You're going to plan it out. You're going to get approached. Like I said, I don't know what it is your career is, but perhaps it's going to be a headhunter. Perhaps it's going to be a connection that you already have in your career, and there's going to be discussions. And in those discussions, I encourage you to map out in writing what you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good luck with that. I see nothing but favor ahead.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Nothing but favor.
Good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You know what, Miss Mac, and I'm praying for favor for you too. Because we spend a lot of time. We spend most of our darn life at work. A lot of our waking hours are at work, and so it's always great to have peace and your work to be like harmony and just to be in sync. And I'm going to be in prayer with you. I'm connecting with you that the right opportunity comes your way and it's going to be exactly what you need. And like Felicia said, know your worth. So map it out, write it out.
Yeah,
Exactly what you want. So
yeah, I will
connecting
do.
with you on that. Yep. So my
Thank you,
prayers
guys.
are with you. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing. Totally appreciate you.
Oh, sure. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Okay.
And Adrian, if you ever have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to Diva, okay? And
Okay.
I can always call you. All right?
All right. Thank you,
Okay.
Felicia.
Thank
You're
you guys.
Bye bye.
All right. We're bringing Wayne up next.
welcome. Okay.
Bring Wayne up.
Hey, Wayne. Hi.
Still here. I just got to grab something, guys. I'm still here. Go ahead. Y'all can continue.
He's on. Wayne, can you hear me? Because I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you.
Take yourself off of mute.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you.
my mic off. Hey, Felicia.
Hey, how you feeling? How's it coming along?
I'm doing good, doing real good.
Wonderful. So we are now into August. So just a quick recap for the folks who may have just gotten here. So we're doing a numerology guideline, and that package of numbers is 1 through 9. 1 is new beginnings, fresh start, planning ideas. 2 is about networking, is about partnerships, about socialization. 3 is about building dreams, the creative spirit of a child, our passions. A 4 years about structure, work, work, work. A 5 years about taking risks. 6 years about family gatherings, moving, being with family, having a baby, getting married, getting divorced, whatever you want to call it. A 7 year is God's favorite year, and is usually based on a lot of emotion, a lot of elements that are not within our ability to necessarily control, but we should have a core, an anchor to keep us steady as we navigate it. And 8 years about resources, which isn't always about money. It can be about relationships, wealth, investment, land, things like that. And a 9th year is about closure and judgment and preparing for the next cycle. So Wayne, who's up, his birth month is 9. And this is the second 9 person here today. And then his birthday is 28. So the goal is to get everything down to a single digit. So 2 plus 8 equals 10, and 1 plus 0 equals 1. And he has shared with me his birth year, and I'm going to add that up right now. And Wayne, you have a pen and paper there?
I sure do right now.
Beautiful. So when I add that up, I get a 3 when I get it to a single digit, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so 9 plus 1 plus 3. When we add that up, we get an overall 4. And that's your overall birth number. So the 9 is the number of which you entered the world in. A 9, as I explained earlier, is about judgment. It's about decision making. It doesn't have too many gray areas. As I explained before when Adrian came up, you have a 1 at your core. A 1 looks the same sometimes up and down, all around. It's just the same number, but it's a strong number. And when it's your core number, the number at your heart, a lot of the decisions that you make, all decisions will eventually determine on how you feel, what's best for you, what is in your interest. That 3 is kind of hanging out there. That 3 represents creativity, childlike passions, interests, those kinds of things. They're kind of in conflict with that 1, because that 1 is very tight and very centered, and you can move either way. So Wayne, one of the things as I'm speaking, I'm coming across that you were somewhat rebellious. Are you a rebellious kind of person?
Somewhat.
Somewhat, but you're
I
not.
can't tell you the part where it's rebellious, but in my life, when I woke up, I rebelled. But that's what I could say that.
When you woke up, let me look at your overall cycle for a moment. I want to see what level year you're at. Okay, let me do that. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so one, I would say somewhere around 2006, 2007. Did you wake up then?
Maybe I would say a little bit before there, which puts me where I'm at now as a reason. I kind of woke up and decided to make a change.
Okay, so you woke up and decided to make a change a little before that. So we're going to say maybe the late 90s, early 2000s.
Right on.
Okay, so we're moving through that. But this three still got me kind of like, all right, I don't know. Picking up, I'm trying to get something here. The 3. You're not in a 3-year, I don't think. Let me do the year. So we got the birth month is a 9. We have the 28, which is the core number. 2 plus 8 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. And then we have the year 2023, which is a 7. Okay. And I'm going to add those up. 10. Okay. All right. This has been a tough year for you financially.
True.
Sorry about that. Okay. I'm picking up a little bit more on this 3. This 1 is very strong. Very strong. The core of who you are, very solid. This 3, I am finding in the numerology pattern, has caused you some troubles. And when we look at the number 3, we're talking about childlike issues, dreams, passions, those kind of things. I want, I need, why can't I have? So I'm picking that perhaps maybe this 3 has cost you in terms of resources. Is that correct?
Looking at. Yeah, I was just looking back at my notes and I wanted to see what the 3 was, and I can identify with that.
Right. So it's not that it's an immaturity thing, because you do have the judgment. You do have the judgment. You know right from wrong. You know what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. But it's this 3 that seems to throw you off. And something's going on inside of me. I don't have the words to land it, but the waking up piece has something to do with this 3, this inability, this unwanting of you to understand that that's not going to work. And I don't know what that is. Can you tell me what that is?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure.
Mm-hmm.
Run that back again. Because I got so much going on.
I can tell, I'm picking it up, Wayne. I'm picking it up. I'm trying to focus in. I'm gonna give an example. You're given good counsel. You've been given good counsel by your parents, your guardians, the people in your life, maybe your teachers, certain authorities, your friends, about something, and it has been consistent. And you hear it. And they say, does that make sense? And you say yes. But the 3 keeps bringing you back there. So since I don't know what it is, do you have a question for me?
You you kind of gone over it. It's just that I'm just kind of not willing, on a platform like this to show where you have, where you hit kind of connected, I don't how to put it. I mean, if I was talking to you one on one, it'd be different. I mean, I expect some things. I mean, I don't know how to say it.
Okay, so this isn't the platform. You could always ask Diva for my email, and then we can communicate if you want to talk to me further. I understand that. So that we're having some difficulties because this is a very public platform. So I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I'm very
I mean, because
sensitive.
I mentioned the diva just yesterday. I mean, we was talking yesterday, and so I don't know if she kind of remembers. So if you remember our conversation and then hear your conversation, she could probably validate. Oh wow, he told me that, whatever. But it's not.
Okay.
It's just kind of hard on the platform, to say this. I will say that some things you hit just like right on the head, Um, but I don't really want to, dive into it.
Well, if you want, Diva, you could send him my email, and then we can communicate.
Sure.
If you'd like to have greater clarity, I don't have a
Mhm.
problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Come next year, when you are going to be in your 9th year. So I got some great news for you. A lot of the
Ooh, I could use
challenges.
it.
Oh yeah, a lot of the challenges that you have been having, you are made decisions. You are making decisions, and they're coming to a end. You're going to decide what you're going to do and what that's going to look like going forward. You're going to implement all of that right after we come out of the end of this year. So going into January 2024, things are going to change. They're changing in your favor. You're going to make decisions, personal decisions. I no longer want you to be battling with the inner you. You trust that. You trust what has been shared with you, and you make those decisions. You're going to take a chance. You're going to look all the way back, much like Adrian. You're going to go back to 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, and figure out what worked and what didn't work. And you're going to decide come 2025, it's no longer going to be. I'm picking up some energies, particularly a relationship or two that may have caused you a great deal of stress. And you're going to be able to bring closure to them without all of the emotion, without all of the drama. And you're going to be able to settle on who they are, and what they have and have not been to you, and you're going to be okay with it.
And the numbers 9 and 4 are real. I mean, in terms of months, no, 4 and then 9 in terms of months is real important. Like you were saying about decisions,
Mm-hmm.
and it seemed like September
Yeah.
was the month I made major decisions on, and it's pretty much the month that drove me to Florida as a result. As a result. So yeah, that was. Yeah,
It's
that
all
was
right,
interesting.
man. It's all right.
Mm.
It's all right.
It's okay.
But I appreciate it. That was really interesting. I mean, it was interesting, yeah.
Okay.
But
Well, like
thank
I
you.
said, you're welcome. If you want, you ask people for my email, and I could certainly go into a bit more with you. But based on your
Okay.
numerology, uh,
All right.
a lot of this pain and this stress and this disappointment is coming to a close, and it's going to be done without all of the emotion and the stress that has come with it in the past.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome.
Wayne, of course, you know I'm praying for you and with you, and I'm
Thank
connected.
you.
You're welcome. He said,
Well,
when two or three come together in his name, right?
yep.
So all prayers are with you, and thank you for coming up. Thank you for your vulnerability. You know, sometimes when we do things like this, we never know who else we're helping, and I'm definitely with you and praying for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing. All right. So Carrie, Felicia said, and I will update my description when you let me know. They want to be able to follow you on your social media platforms and all of that. Okay. Well, Wayne got me emotional here, but we're with you, Wayne. We're definitely with you. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right, Felicia. I'm gonna bring up E next.
Okay.
All right. Hey E.
Hi, how is everyone? Hi, Diva. Hi, Felicia.
Hey, E. So I see your name today is the number one. Okay.
That's right.
All right. So, E, did you get an opportunity to hear the numerology number outline?
Yes,
Okay, good. And you got a pen and paper in case you got any questions for me as I'm going through it?
yes.
Okay, wonderful. So you know Diva sent me your full birthday. So what we're going to do is January 20th. So we got that one. A lot of ones are coming up here today. The 20th, we want to get it down to a single digit. So 2 plus 0 equals 2. And then the year of your birth, right? So I'm going to add that up. And I'm going to get that down to a single digit. And it's a 7, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we take these numbers 1, 2, 7. The core of who you are is a 2. A 2 represents friendships, networking, socializing, connections. And that's really wonderful. But a 2 finds it difficult not to end friendships. They want everybody to be a friend. They want to keep their friends. The 1, your birth path number, brings in the strong component of individuality, a strong need. When you come into this world, you're coming in as a 1. And that 1 demands to be nurtured all the time. The 2, which I talked about in terms of socialization, it's a great number to go with a 1. The question comes in, is everyone a friend or is it always me? And then the 7, God, a lot of 7s up here today. That's the element of emotion. So when I'm looking at the numbers 1, 2, 7, and I add them all up, I get a 10. And 1 plus 0 is 1. So with that, your overall birth number is a 1. And how we entered was a 1. So no matter what, whatever is at hand, whatever at play, it's still going to be about you.
Hello.
How, when we're making decisions, particularly this 2, the 7, okay, but the 2. So what's happening with the 2? The 2 is not coming through strong. The 2 is not coming in strong on the relationship end. And let me quickly do, oh yeah, because this is a 2023 is a 7. So it's a 1 again. All right. So you are currently in a 1 year. So this should be a great time for you, E. Has this year thus far been great for you?
Yes, everything is new.
Everything is new. So when we look at 2022, based on numerology, you should have brought a lot of things to closure. Did you do that?
Well, can we have real talk?
Yeah.
So, yes, I finished my degree.
Beautiful.
Um, I
Congratulations.
20,
Yeah.
thank you. In 2016, it was a very traumatic thing, and a lot of those things kind of brought me to close. So, I lost my first love that year. He was in a hit and run car accident on his birthday. That was January 1st of 2016. And so when he passed, I latched on to the next guy and fell in love with him. And it was just a tumultuous thing. And that kind of came to a close this year. But I had to start over. It was so many losses I took from 2016, and I finally felt like this year, everything I'm going back to that point and getting back everything I lost.
Okay, so take me back again to what exact year was it that you had that long-term relationship?
The long-term relationship that I brought to a close.
Yeah. When did it start? What year was that?
We got serious in 2016, but I probably met him in 2015. So I would say November of 2015 is when we began dating, and then it got really serious in February of 2016.
All right. So this is what I'm looking at numerology wise. You're going to begin to build some kind of networking, socializing event. I don't know where it is. I don't know how you're going to exactly come into it, but you're going to be a little bit more trusting, a little bit more open, and you're going to do a lot of socializing as we close out on 2023. And you're going to meet someone.
What does it look like?
I have no idea. But most important, you're going to get a second chance at building a relationship. Now, if we go back to 2015 or 2016, okay, you were then closing out on your numerology cycle of 1 through 9 years. So when you were there, this was a new relationship. You had just come out of a 1-2 year and you met this person. So what happens to many people in terms of numerology is we will repeat in the cycle as we move from one level to another where we may have not done as well. And the question is, what did we learn from the previous round? What did we learn from the previous experience? What did we learn when we were here before? So I'm going to encourage you to kind of reflect as you move into these new spaces, because they're going to be a lot of fun. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to laugh a lot. You're going to meet a lot of people that are interesting and that you like and you think are so talented and all of that wonderful stuff. And someone is going to emerge. And whoever this person is, you're going to be open. And I'm not saying not to be open, but I want you to reflect on what didn't work last time and do not repeat it.
Yes, we know what didn't work the first time. Being too, see, this is when you said the 2 is not coming in strong, it's because, I don't trust. I don't trust at all. And I am automatically, as soon as I meet someone, I'm forecasting, how can this go wrong? And how can this person hurt me? And my defenses are up. And so the person is essentially working backwards, because before they can really get to know me, they have to, get through my defenses. So, but what didn't work the first time is expecting someone to change when they've already shown you who they were. And falling in love with the potential and what someone could be. I don't pay attention to potential.
You cannot use the standards for friendship for when you're looking for a life partner. You just cannot.
Well, that is my way. But
it's not working. I just asked you to go back and look at what you did then in 2015, 2016. What worked? And now you're going to, this your next chance, okay? Okay. What didn't work, we're not going to do that again. So we can't have all the defenses. We're not looking for the people to hurt us, but we're also not going to treat it like a friendship. Did you receive that?
I did, even though I didn't tell you that I treated it like a friendship. You picked up on that I did because I did.
Okay. So I'm so excited for you. This is going to be the best holiday season you have ever had.
Really?
Yes, it is. And
Oh
you're
my God.
going to be in love with being in love. And I'm asking you, I don't know if you're a writer, I don't know if you're
Yes, I am.
I'm asking you to take notes of what E needs to remember so that when the person presents themselves to you, you don't automatically go into what you think you know and what you're going to forecast. You're going to be open to what it is in front of you. Okay?
Yes.
All right. Any other questions for me, E?
Yes. I was told years ago that I am going to leave my mark on this world. And I am just curious as to if you see anything about that or have any inclination as to how I am going to do that.
No, ma'am. I do not. Numerology is a simple guideline for where you are, not necessarily where you're going. So it's to give you some comfort as to where you may be stationed in life right now. And right now, what I see is happy times, great times, going into 2024, very open and prepared. That's the word, prepared to not repeat what happened in your last cycle going into your 2 year. When you're looking for a life partner, when you're looking for someone to build something of substantial long term, they're not your friend. Everybody's not your friend, E. It's not a friendship, okay?
Oh, wait, Miss Felicia, one last question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you look up the man, the old man,
Who's the old man?
the snake that you told me to learn from?
Oh, I don't, what's the birth month and the birthday?
731.
Ah, it's at 7. So many people got 7s. So that person came in here very emotional. That's their birth path number. They came in a 7. 7 is an element of emotion within a person that it cannot be predicted. The 31, we get it down to a single digit, is a 4. 4 represents structure. They're very this person doesn't work for you. Let me tell you why this person doesn't work for you. Just based on the 7. They came in on the emotion and you leaving out on the emotion. That's not good. Okay? It's not good. And then the 4, they're too structured for you. You need a little bit more flexibility. You need a little bit more fun time. You need somebody that doesn't worry as much as you.
Yes.
Okay. People with the number 8 tend to have a gravitation of resources all the time. Look for somebody in August. Look for somebody in November. Okay.
All right. This was beautiful. Thank you, Miss Felicia. And thank you, Diva, for inviting me and letting me come up. I appreciate you both. This was excellent.
You're welcome.
Thank you, E. E, listen, E.
I'm listening. I'm going to rewatch this.
All right, Felicia. Radiance is next. Thank you, E. Let me just see where I'm at here. How do I do this? Okay.
Hey, Radiance.
Hey.
Welcome up, welcome up. So as you know, I know you've been here since the beginning, so you know the pattern of the numbers. So
Yes.
you set me your birthday. So your birthday's October. So that's a 10. We want to get that down to a single digit. So 1 plus 0 is 1. She has your birthday as 25. So 2 plus 5 is 7. Lord Diva, another 7. It. And then we have the year. So you have a pen and paper there, Radiance?
Absolutely. I come ready to go.
Good. So I'm adding them up, right? And as I'm adding them up, I'm getting a 9. You got a 9? Do you have a 9?
I got an 8, but your math might be
No.
better.
Let me do it again. Let me do it again. We want to make sure I get it right. Okay. I'm getting a 9. Can you add slow, Radiance? Make sure.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I got a 9. I'm getting a 9. Somebody else who came up almost got the same exact number pattern.
Am I adding my full birth year into it, right?
No, you just add the year that you were born. Just add that by itself.
Oh, okay. That's a 9.
Okay, great. Wonderful. So we got a 1, we have a 7, we have a 9. So your birth path number is that 1, that individual spirit, that self-contained, self-assured, pretty much the same around the clock. Very little difference. The 7 is the core of you. So everything, your heart knows all emotions, all feelings, everything is centered at the core of you, which is your heart, and it is moved by the elements of the earth, the seas, the continents, the weather. So sometimes you may feel like, oh my goodness, how did I get here? How did I just shift with all of this emotion? It's because at the core of you is that 7. And then we have the 9. And again, the 9 is about judgment. It's about closure. It's very little gray area. So there is conflict between the heart and the rest of what is in the best interest of Radiance. I'm going to add up those numbers and get your overall birth path number. So we have 1 plus 7 is 8, plus 9 is 17. Get it down to a single digit. It's the number 8, and the number 8 represents resources. So when we talk about resources, it's always about a multitude of blessings. It's about good health. It's about wealth. It's about investments. It's about talent. It's about ability, a special skill, gifts, those kinds of things. Anyone with an overall number of 8 pretty much can live a life of blessing, because you will never go hungry. You will figure it out. At your core, though, is this 7. And because of this 7, I'm sensing, Radiance, that you give a lot. Am I correct?
Yes, but I'm learning how to healthily pull it back.
Mm-hmm. I'm picking up. Let me do the year that you're in first. Okay. So the year that you're in, 2023, right? You're going to add that on to your birth month and your birthday. So, this is all about family for you this year, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in a 6th year. So a 6th year represents family. And when we talk about family, we talk about celebrations, we're talking about weddings, we're talking about marriage, we're talking about barbecues and baby showers and all that great stuff. And you just overall, you're in an 8th year, which means that you're in a 6th year, but your overall number is an 8. So I would gather you are having a very good summer.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. So you have something in particular that you want to ask me.
Do I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know particularly. It got to be one or two things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if you can tell this with numerology now. Like, when is this life partner supposed to be coming in, or what about me moving? Something in that arena.
Well, a 6th year is about homes and movings, apartments, buying, changing, being about family. So, are you living somewhere where you're not near your family, or you're living near the family and you want to move away? Which one is it?
You got it. So I just relocated the end of last year out of state, so I moved away from my family.
Okay. And last year you were in a 5-year. So did we move away from a good place, or we moved away out of a heartfelt, emotional place? Where were
I think it was a good place.
we?
Just want to relocate, get in some new energy, have new beginnings. So I planned and I took my time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And how did that decision work out for you? Because last year you were in a 5-year, and we talk about risk. There are good risk and there are bad risk. So how did it work out?
I think it was definitely worth the risk. I would label it as a good risk.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving where I am. I'm loving the space, the healing, the ambiance.
Mm-hmm.
Everything hasn't come in its fullness just yet, but everything in its own divine timing.
But when you moved, did you carry over a relationship, a personal relationship with you?
Did I carry on a personal relationship with who?
Yeah, were you seeing someone and then you continued to see them when you moved?
No.
No. I you're about to come to the end of your cycle. Yeah. So this I don't know, Radiance. I'm picking up that there's somebody somewhere that has an interest in you. You have an interest in them, but this thing has some quirks in it. And you're not sure. And you want me to guess. I can't guess.
I mean, I guess with each other energy, because there hasn't been any forward movement in the natural. So I'm guessing that's what you picking up on.
Okay. Well, again, I'm going through your numbers. You're in a 6th year. And the person that you're interested in, you have already been in their company. And something is not happening, and I don't know why.
Well, me neither then. I don't know.
Were you approached by someone? Did someone say to you, this person may asked about you? What, anything like that?
If we're thinking of the same person, we
No,
talked.
I'm thinking about.
Okay. We've interacted a little bit on social media, but we haven't met in person yet. I don't know.
Okay, good. I'm happy you said that. If you're going to meet this person, you need to do it between now and the end of September. Why? Because we're going to transition into our new year at the end of this year. And from here, you're going to go into a 7th year. And I don't want you to make decisions based on emotion.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Okay. So if there's going to be any meeting, and there needs to be an actual meeting, maybe you meet for coffee, something like that, in daylight hours, and you begin to know this person. And you will know between now and September, end of September, whether or not this is going to work for you. And this is the best time to know it. You don't want to transition into your new year, okay, going into a 7th year, because you're going to have too much emotion behind what you're thinking. Right now, you're just factual based. You know what you're looking for. You're in a fun place, but you don't want to do this coming out of 2023 into 2024. You want to know that person right now. Okay.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Good. And you can trust your judgment that you're going to be safe. I don't want you to feel afraid. You're going to be safe. You're going to be smart about it. Okay.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you, Diva.
You're welcome. Thank you, Radiance. That was cool. All right. Felicia, Carrie, she's into the building. Can I text you her birthday? Are you okay with that?
Okay.
All right, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, so hey, Carrie, you can say hi. I'm going to text
Hi.
Felicia.
Hey, Carrie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. Carrie, did you get to hear all of the guidelines, how it works?
I did not. I came in, I think, when Leo was on when Leo was on stage.
Okay, so that was
But I've been listening intently though.
okay. So do you have a pen and paper?
I do.
Beautiful.
I
So
just text you. I'm sorry.
okay, so I'm going to do a quick oversight on what the numbers 1 through 9 represent. Okay, so 1 is about new beginnings, new adventures, planning. It's easy, it's relaxed, it's contemplating the future, not living in the past. A 2 year is about networking and partnerships and socialization. A 3 year is about building on dreams, creativity, childhood passions. 4 years about work, focus, focus, focus. It's about being very disciplined in your approach. A 5 year is about risk, taking risk. There are good risk and bad risk, but risk nonetheless. A 6 year is about family gatherings, celebrations, moving, getting a new home, getting a new apartment, getting married, things like that. 7 year is a very emotional year. It's based on God's favorite number, which is usually based on the elements of water and earth and sun and all those things. And an 8 year is about resources. And it's not just money, it's wealth, good health, investments, relationships. And a 9th year is about closure. It's about contemplating what you're going to take into your next cycle and leaving behind what doesn't work. So Diva has sent me your birth numbers. So we're going to get them all down to a single digit. And my, oh my, Carrie, you got the master 22. And it is at the heart of who you are. When I opened up, I said the only number greater in numerology than the 11 is a 22. So you have a 5, which is the month of May. You have a 22, which is at the core of who you are. To get that down to a single digit would be a 4. And then your year, I'm not going to say it out loud, but I'm going to add it up, right? Wow, girl. 22 again, master. All right, so we're going to add 5 plus 4 plus 4. Oh, my goodness. Work, Carrie. Is that all you know?
That's what I have to do.
Okay, so overall birth number is a 4. The core of who you are is a 22, which comes down to a 4. And the year of your birth is a 4. And what drove you in? Your initial birth number is a 5. And a 5 represents risk. And risk can be good and risk can be bad. So what happens with that driving force, you come in with that energy, but then you landed on a 22. So you're going to master work. And if anything I'm saying to you doesn't make sense, you please tell me. So we have people who can master all forms and fashions of things. Yours is work. So you have a very disciplined, locked in mind, and it is working continuously. You're probably not perceived as a lot of fun, or your friends think that you're easy, because fours is about structure, it's about organization, it's about discipline, rarely stepping out of the range to the left or to the right. But that five that drives you is that kind of number. So, based on numerology and how I'm looking at this, whatever you are extremely passionate about, whatever you're extremely good about, you're going to be extremely successful in it. And use that five to take the risk to do that. Is that making any sense to you?
Makes sense.
Okay, so everything is work, even at home. Work,
Yes.
focus, focus, discipline, discipline. So what I'm trying to say here is to take all of that energy, because you're not, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's just in your birth path. It's the core of who you are. It's in the end of life number of yours. It's at the heart of who you are. 22s, they master whatever it is they desire. And in your case, it's work. So with that said, and I'm going into the current year. So we take 2023 and we add that into the current year that you're in. So 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 7 is 6. Oh, girl. If you live near me, I would say, Carrie, come on over and let's have a cup of hot tea, girl. You're in a 7th year. Have you ever just said, I'm going to go on a vacation and I'm going to perceive it as work? And I'm talking about on yourself. And forgive me, I'm getting a little teary-eyed. And it may be because I'm a little tired, I don't know. But sometimes when I come across people who are so hardworking in everything, there's no going outside the line. There's no downtime. There's no relaxation mode. I often would suggest that you go on a vacation and you treat it like it's work. Working on you. So you still keep that same work ethic. You still keep that same structure, that same discipline, but it's all about you. I'm working on me. Have you ever done that?
No, my life doesn't afford me that. Maybe if I would walk away from some things and some people, but I just don't feel like my life affords me that opportunity.
Well, you are currently in the 7th year, and you've had to work to stay balanced in this 7th year. I would suggest you're going to feel a lot better as we come into middle of September, end of September, as we begin to transition out. And you're going to take the time to review your resources. Remember what I said it is: your health, your relationships, your investments, what you're doing. I want you to do that all during the transition time, October, November, December, because you're going into 2024. That's an 8 year of resources. Now, how did we plan? I'm going to do a quick subtraction here. What did you do in 2016 to prepare for 2024?
2016. I just retired from the military 2 years prior. That was not a very good year. That was not a good year.
Okay. And it sounds like it may have been a very challenging one. So I'm going to suggest that whatever you need to do to go back and look at that year, because this is your life,
Okay.
that you do that and prepare not to repeat it. Pretty much what I
Okay.
said to E. You're about to cyclically, your cycle's about to shift into your next level. And let me do a quick number here. Yeah. And I see the next level being on the fifth level. It's going to be good. But how is it going to be really good? You're going to have to plan and prepare. Okay? So you have about 18 months to do that. Okay?
Okay.
And the work that all your life you've been working, either you've been challenging or it's been difficult, there's been issues, and it turns out that now you're at a place where you're kind of tired, but the only thing you know how to do is work. And I want
Pretty
you to
much.
take that work ethic and work on you and figure out what you're going to need to kind of balance out the intensity of you. And if that means you have to save some money or work overtime or take some money out of what's that, an IRA, whatever it is, and take
Right.
yourself on a vacation and work on you. So that come 2025, you would have learned and grown from, at least as I look at these numbers, oh yeah, 2015, oh yeah, hot mess. Hot mess. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That 10-year period there was very tough for you. 2005 to 2015. Is that right, Carrie?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to repeat it. Freedom is coming. And that 22, that master number of yours, you know you have the ability to do it for everything and everyone else. I want you to turn around, do it for yourself. Please. I'm feeling the heaviness of what you've been carrying. Okay? Any questions?
My questions is more along the lines of career. I don't have any questions about relationship because I have zero desire.
But isn't a career a relationship? Haven't I been talking about work for the last 10 minutes?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
all
I'm
I've
talking
been
about a
doing.
career. I
What?
mean a career shift, meaning like yeah, I'm thinking about a career shift. Yeah, that's what
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about.
Well, a career shift I would not suggest until after we're moving out of October, November, December, right?
Okay.
Because I told you it was in the seventh year, right? So
Okay.
you need to finish up this cycle, this seventh year cycle. So as I told whoever that was earlier, because you're all in that, you're both on that pattern. You're open to talk. You know what I mean? You don't
Mm-hmm.
know what somebody's going to bring you. You don't know what the conversation is. So you're open to conversation. You're not making any decisions. You're going to perhaps receive a phone call or two, or somebody might say, well, what are your interests? So you're going to be able to open up those kind of portals and dialogues. And come 2024, particularly, oh yeah, in March, April, because it's a 4. March is
Mm-hmm.
because it's a 3. You're going to have opportunities to not only change where you feel you need to be career-wise, but it's going to become reality come May, come your
Okay.
birthday. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. So right now, what you're feeling is a greater intensity because you're in a 7th year, but it's going to start to lift. I want you to believe that. Come September, you're just going to say, wow, I've had 3 great days in a row. What's going on? Because what's happening inside is because of the elements of the natural in the world, not because of everything that's going on around you.
Okay.
Okay? All right.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Carrie, thank you for
Yeah.
coming up. Thank you for always coming back. You know, I love you. And, you know,
Thank you.
praying for all the best in the clarity and everything. And
Thank
praying
you.
that 2024 is your time and take some rest.
Yeah. Okay.
I know. You know what though? Like me too. Like, you work a lot, but we gotta think about ourselves too, right?
Yeah.
It's hard. You gotta have that moment. But thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for
Oh,
coming through.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
Don't beat me up, Felicia.
I, I,
This is it. This is the
this is
final
it.
one. This is it. It's Smoke is next. I'm gonna text you. Let me bring up Smoke. So
Okay, and that means, Diva, we're going to use you another day. It takes
no, that's fine. I told
Okay,
Smoke backstage I was giving up my
okay.
spot for him. Yes, absolutely.
Hmm.
Not a problem. Because I know I really do appreciate you. They're
You know,
loving you.
it just takes tremendous energy.
No, I know it does. And because listen, you want to know what's so crazy? Like, I don't have the intuition like you do, but I'm feeling it as the people speak. So I could only imagine how much energy it takes for you. But I really do appreciate you. All everybody that came up today, like they're all really huge supporters to me. And I love all of them, so I'm glad they had the opportunity to interact with you. So gladly I will give up my spot to Smoke.
Well, thank you so much.
My son, one of my sons.
You
Okay,
can
I'm gonna shut up.
you could always call me and I could give you a private reading. Okay. So, Smoke.
Yes. How you doing?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for wanting to get your numbers read. Now, how long have you been listening?
I've been tuning in. I'm working from home, but I've been listening to the conversation. But I've done this before, but I'll also like listen to how you do it and not just assume it. So I'm operating the house rules.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, it's a package of numbers 1 through 9.
Yes.
Okay. And so, what I'm going to do, because Diva sent me your birthday, I'm going to do your full birth number, your birth path, and then your overall year.
Okay.
So, your birthday is June.
Yes.
So, that's a 6. It's a 6, June 6th. That's another 6. And then the year, if you have a moment, because I heard you said you're at work, I'm going to add those up. And I get a 3. What about you?
I did the number count ahead of time, so I got a 3 as well.
Okay, beautiful. So your birth life number, the number you came in here on, was a 6. If you reflect back on what I said about 6, 6 is about family. So looking at this, I'm getting that you have a lot of siblings.
I have 2 sisters from my mom and dad together. I believe that there may be more out there that my dad didn't tell us about.
Okay, so you got 2 sisters and you're in the middle?
I'm the youngest of 3.
You're the youngest. And then the day 6. So that supports and enforces the piece about family. So in looking at your numerology, pretty much you're about family. This number 3 here, in the year that you were born, and you being the 3rd child, may have had some complications, but you are loved and adored within the family because you are a family person. So you're the one that always want to make things right. You kiss and make up. You're very protective of the family, and everyone loves that about you. I'm going to add the 6 and the 6 and the 3. So 6 plus 6 is 12 plus 3. Oh my God. That's a 15, and a 1 plus 5 is 6. It's family all the way around for you, Smoke.
Yes, inescapable. I don't say I have friends because I feel like friends is such a generic. I have deep ties with people. So like I feel like those people are your family, whether they're blood related or not. Like that's family to me.
Mm-hmm. So I'm picking up that you are the core for a lot of people's family. And at times it becomes a burden.
Yeah, because I tend to pour from an empty cup sometimes. So even if I'm going through it or I'm struggling, if someone is going through it, I at least want to like pick them up and let them have a better day. And I'll be like, I'll take care of myself eventually.
And how has that been working for you?
Not well. But I'm getting better with balancing and checking in with myself first, making sure that I'm good, like everything I need is taken care of so that I can take care of other people as much as I can avoid it. It's just like I want to make sure everybody's good. It's not just me, but like are we all good together?
Yes. So when Smoke is not feeling like we're all good together, what is Smoke needing?
Oh, I don't know. I guess maybe I guess I'll probably maybe say just rest or just something for myself because I feel like I will go to the ends of the world for anybody, anything they need. I'll be like, if I don't have, I'll be like, I'll find it for you. So just
So
making sure.
who pours into you? Who gives you?
Oh, my mama does.
Okay.
That's my boo.
Smoke, I'm gonna say something,
Yeah,
and I wanted it to be received in love here. Okay.
absolutely.
You want something for yourself. I
Mm-hmm.
believe you want some kind of commitment. This is what I'm hearing. Some permanency.
Like relationship with
Yeah.
someone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, See, that's weird because it's so funny. I just turned 31 this year, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just like I'm loving this like journey I'm on, like my own self journey, like taking care of myself finally. And it's just like being with someone hasn't kind of just been at the forefront in my mind for the first time in my life. Like I haven't been like thinking of that. But it does come in waves and like, I acknowledge it. I guess I'm not pushing the issue.
Okay. All right. So I just did your overall number. So it's June the 6th. The day is a 6. And 2023, that's a 7. So when I added it all up, it was 19. And 1 plus 9 is a 10. And we get that a single digit, it's a 1. So that explains that. So you're in a 1 year. And part of what I said earlier is that when we're in a 1 year, that's a planning year. That's a year of new beginnings. That's a fresh start. So everything you want to happen over the next 8 years, you ought to plant those seedlings now.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though there isn't a deficit of love and comfort and security that you have, if you feel that this is something that you want and that you need, I suggest that you begin to plant those seeds now.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because I've been feeling like I've been at a crossroads and I know which direction I want to go, but it's just having faith in myself to just go and just not try to worry about how it's going to manifest, kind of just do the work and just kind of let it just. So that makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
So when we begin the new cycle, like where you are, the first, second, and third year are fabulous years. So I'm going to let you know right now, 20, 24, 25, 26 are going to be fantastic. And I want you to take the time to plant what you want, okay?
Mm-hmm.
To think, focus on what you want because this is going to be a great time for you. As with E, I see you coming into this holiday season in a great space and a great place. I see new energies, new people coming into your life. Let's not try to incorporate them all under the family umbrella. That's part of the challenge. We put everybody under the family umbrella, and then when we're seeking more for ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
we find it difficult to obtain because we forget that we too want it on a personal level.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Makes
So
sense.
as we're moving through the holiday season, I want you to be your fabulous self. I don't want you to pass up a party, an event, a gathering.
Ooh, child.
Keep your heart open, but not for someone for the family, but for someone for Smoke.
Oh. Okay. I know, but like my family gotta like you too, but I understand what you're saying. I do. I have to find someone for me.
Can we also know that
Yeah.
sometimes a family knows if they have to give up someone who always pours into them, there may be a loss for them. So maybe we don't want to share,
That's true.
right?
That's true. Yes.
I know people often say, well, you give, but no, I take time out to make sure that I give back to me because folks ain't giving me what I need. I can only give but so much and then I'm out. So I have to make sure I do things that's going to give back to me, that
Right.
I get what I want and what I need. So when these new folks come into your space, 23, 24, incorporate them into the life of smoke, not necessarily the family. It's not a bad thing to have a secret about someone you're seeing. Everybody don't have to know.
Keep my stuff on private. Got it.
Got it.
Got it. That's all I needed to hear because I'll be like, I want to scream it to the rooftops, but sometimes you got to keep
No,
something for yourself.
for yourself. Thank you, Smoke. For yourself.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Felicia. And thank you, Diva. Don't worry. Next time we go out to eat, it's on me.
Aw, I love you. It's all good. It's all good. I can always contact Felicia. Felicia, backstage people, don't drop. Don't drop everybody backstage. Felicia, thank you so much for your time. I truly, truly appreciate you. I really appreciated you doing this. And I know that you touched a lot of people today and you touched all the people, that you spoke with. And I greatly appreciate you for doing this.
You are so welcome. And I adore you, Diva. And
Yeah.
it was a real pleasure to come on up here. And I hope in terms of numerology that folks are, navigating out of this seventh year, everybody.
Mhm.
This seventh year, we just got out of July. Woo wee, did you notice how the temperatures dropped 40, 50 degrees? So, amen to that.
Mm-hmm.
And happy holiday season to everyone. Don't get caught up. Just enjoy your time.
Yes, enjoy your time. Yes, yes. Thank you, Felicia.
You're so welcome. It was a
All right,
pleasure.
we'll talk, okay? I will email you and we'll talk. I appreciate you.
Okay.
All right,
Bye-bye.
thank you. Okay, bye. All right, hey, Miss Mac. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Adele. Hey,
Hi.
E. Hey, Radiance.
Hey.
Hey, Smoke. Hey, Carrie.
Hey.
Okay. So, thank you, everybody. Listen, guys, thanks for sharing. I know it does get very emotional. And some people, I don't want anybody to get distracted. We're not saying this thing replaces any religion. We're not saying that. We're not witches. We're not doing any of that. It's just a simple, as Felicia stated, it's like, how does your numbers align up and speak to, who you are and what may possibly be going on in your life? And nothing is like written in stone. I will tell you this. I haven't seen her in a while, but Hearts of Inspiration, is the similar things as such. And then, then I met Felicia. I will say this. One day, Hearts of Inspiration, she said something to me. And I swear to goodness, first of all, I didn't even know me, didn't even know that much about me, was right on point. And later, like just recently, what she said to me came to pass. And Felicia said something to me also, and all I can say is what she said to me really came to pass, right? So again, we're not trying to sway anybody anyway, and this is not an end all be all. It's just a nice little thing, and sometimes we all need to release some energy out of us, right? And to the point of which you feel comfortable, you release your information, and then we can all come into agreement and just pray the best for each other. And sometimes I really hope that the conversations we have on this platform, that we can kind of do that, right? It's always fun. We do our little kiki haha about different, subjects that's going on in the news, so to speak, or out there on reality shows or whatever. But I really 100%, I like it better when we kind of get into conversations that lead to real life, because I think so many people, we all have so much going on. And the moment that we get to connect with each other and learn something real to help us like in life and get through life, I think it's always a great thing to do. So I wanted to kind of bring you back up, so we can do like a formal little closeout. And you can say whatever you want to say. You can encourage somebody else. I feel a little emotional right now. It's so crazy. And I was saying that to Felicia, like, I know it. She told me ahead of time. She was like, I gotta pray, I gotta meditate, I gotta prepare for this, because I do know it does take up a lot of energy. Because as some people were speaking, I was like feeling the energy, and I really am praying that everybody that has something that they need resolution to, I'm praying with y'all that before this year ends out, that you get that resolution, you get that thing that you need. Because today I went to a funeral, and the pastor, I wish I could have wrote stuff down, but people would have probably been looking at me like, what is she doing? She's crazy. But when he spoke, he said so many things that touched my heart. And I said it at the beginning of this live. One of the things he said that I truly, truly believe in, right? Because I let a lot of stuff go. Like before in the past, like I probably would have held a grudge like a little while, whatever. But somewhere on the path of my life, I really learned that forgiveness is definitely for you, and you live a better existence if you know what, you can just let stuff go. Like you can forgive people. Don't mean they wasn't wrong, right? Doesn't mean it has nothing to do whether they was wrong or right. It's just you releasing that energy, that hatred, that anger out of you so that you can live a better life. So I said a lot. I want to shut up and I want to kind of go around the room and talk to everybody. And you can share whatever you want to share. I want to close out with a little sharing moment. You can pray for somebody, or say, you're going to be praying for somebody. Whatever you want to share, you can share. And we'll just go around the room. So I'll start up at the top. Ms. Mac, what are your thoughts?
Well, first I want to thank you, Diva. This was a great show today. I'm glad I was able to get your message. First time up on the panel. Hi, panel. I want to say, Carrie, your story touched me so much because I know so many people like you. So I just want to say, just know that you deserve to have some time just for you. You deserve to be able to shut it down and, just focus on you, for even if it's for a little bit. Everybody else, I hope that everything works out for them. Wayne, your story also touched me. Praying for you that things will work out for you. And I would just ask that everybody keep a little prayer for me, because I'm sick of my job and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to
do. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was it.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be praying for you, because one time I went to, I don't know what they call the person, like, when you talk about like your work and life experience and all of that. And all that, like sometimes when I have conversation with people, I remember like little pieces just get stuck with me. And the coach was pretty much telling me that, work is a major part of your life. And they said, I know we always think like, when it comes to money, right? Like, but I got to pay my mortgage. I got to do this. I got to do whatever, right? But the guy has said to me, he said, did you ever notice, like, was there ever a time in your life where you felt like you didn't have it or you was going to be able to do it, and then all of a sudden, like, the money was just there and it just came? And I was like, yeah, that's right. He said, to some degree, the money will always come. The money will always come. So do your best. Whatever you can do is to get a job where you at least love it, like a good 80 to 90% of the time.
Right.
That really stuck with me. And let me tell you, like, throughout my life, like, I've been blessed, but I'm not saying like, everybody, we always think we can make more money, right? But listen, it's been me and my son for a very long time. And he went to Catholic schools, private schools, or whatever. But sometimes I don't even know how the freak I did it. I'm like, wait, like I just felt like every time I needed the money, it was there, right? And so, short story, this college that he's going through now, I almost passed out when I saw how much the school was, right? And there was 3 other schools. I'm like, you sure you don't want to go to these schools? And he's like, no, Mom, I want to go to that school, right? But for the first time in my life, and I always pray that people arrive where I am sooner. That's why sometimes I talk a lot too. But for the first time in my life, I was like, all right, well, if that's the school, that's the school. We're going to figure it out. And, listen, one semester down, not the whole year yet, but one semester down, and the bill was figured out.
You
All
make
I
it
can say
happen.
is look at God, right? So for sure, we're all connecting with you. And I'm praying before the end of this year that that career thing and that job thing is all going to work out. So my prayers and energy is with you, girlfriend. It
Thank you. Thank you.
really is. Yes, yes. Wayne, your thoughts?
This is the first time I've ever done anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
and I just kind of felt that, thoughts that I was thinking, and she was like, I'm like, okay, and I just felt like if I had went on, I would have either she would have divulged too much information,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't really mean divulge, but I kind of felt that she would have said some things that would have triggered, you know, too much emotions.
Yeah. We're with you, Wayne.
Well,
We're with you.
And I knew I wouldn't be able to, really speak on and confirm things, on the platform,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I just kind of like, I was trying to just kind of like not really cut it short,
Yeah.
but I mean this thing, and it could, it's probably just me,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I just, I thought it was good because I mean, it was almost like therapy or something.
Right.
But and like I said, I didn't really want to interact too much,
We
you
understand.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, there's, like, I have a friend that was in the chat that I haven't seen like in years and years,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh hey, and we know each other very well,
Mm-hmm.
so you just don't want to just
No, I
say too much.
totally
But she was it's a lot to it because I kept looking back over the um the numbers, what they meant, the different numbers, what they meant. And I mean, for me, because I was looking at some of the other ones, I'm like, well, that didn't apply. That didn't apply. The numbers that applied to me were just, they meant something, so, but
understand.
she was good. And I like, other people, and she comes from a place when she talks, she's not coming from like a mystic place or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's not trying
Mm-hmm.
to convey that I got powers or nothing. She's basically just giving it off the numbers, and I can appreciate it. And she didn't make you feel like she was getting this revelation through some out of body experience or some spirits or something like that. It was just
Right.
conversation, and I could appreciate the way she comes to you with it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
but thanks, Diva, because that was eye opening and very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're welcome, Wayne. And yeah, y'all held me up last night, you and Smoke.
I know. I looked at the. Oh my God! Look at that way. I kept
Look,
on looking at the other part when the live ended. I said, "Oh, it hadn't been that long." And then I looked at the clock. I'm like, "Oh my God, it was that long."
but you know what's funny? My son was out anyway, and I was either way I was gonna be awake, you know what I mean, until he got in the house. So it was all good. Y'all kept me company. Um, but I will say this to you, Wayne. You told me about the one YouTuber, and I thought I did think about you afterwards, and I thought to myself, I feel like that's your connection to go in a different direction, and that's going to change your life significantly. You and I know what we're talking about.
Yeah,
That's all I'm going to say. I really feel that way. Like when you said that, it connected with me. And as I was like debriefing my day, my day yesterday, like when I was finally about to go to sleep, I just thought about that, and I really feel like you need to go ahead in that direction and follow your mindset. And especially because that person, when, like you said, when they see you, they're like, how you doing? How's it going? Are you doing this? You know, sometimes God talks to us through other people and we don't catch it.
Yeah.
But catch it now, because I feel like that's going to help change a lot in your life.
Thanks. I appreciate it, because that's where that's kind of where, my focus is kind of scary, but putting all this together, I'm, just the things that's coming to me, I'm hearing, I'm just going to apply it, and I'm just going to steam forward ahead,
You got to. You got to. But we're praying with you. We're all connecting and in
Thank you.
agreement today. You're welcome. Adele, you want to share any thoughts?
Yes, I do actually. Obviously, I didn't get reading today, which
Right.
I just look at. To me, it's just as good sometimes to listen as it is to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And I was by each of you getting to know you. And I was honored just to be present and be a presence for you guys today.
Mm-hmm.
And I do hope and just I'm just sending out well wishes to all of you for where it is that you want to improve and where it is that you want to go. So I was honored to be a presence in that. And I do connect to also what you were talking about, Diva, when it comes about forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Because on that journey for a while now, I've always been, I would say, a good person, but there's also another level of things when you understand things from a certain perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quote from Buddha that says, unforgiveness is like holding hot coal in your hand, ready
Mm-hmm.
to throw in someone else's face, but at the same time, it's burning you for that whole time. So understanding that the forgiveness is more for yourself, not so much for the other person. When you flip it that way, you understand that it's hurting you more than it can hurt anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to release is just amazing because you're able to set yourself free, and yes, the other person as well, but it's more for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Adele. Well, thanks, Adele, for hanging out with us. Thank you for always coming up and sharing your input. And thank you for dealing with me. Because you know I get crazy sometimes.
You know what? I
But
look at it that way. I look at it as we're all helping each other, teaching each other, and we're all, if we're able to keep our minds and our hearts and our ears open,
Mhm.
sometimes perspective you have may change, and it's for
Yeah,
better.
yeah, I like that. I like that. I appreciate you, Adele. Thank you so much. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Um, Thank you, Diva. I just want to say thank you again
Mm,
because you don't understand how much we deal with in silence sometimes.
yeah.
And sometimes being able to talk it out, or you don't realize how much it helps. I was just talking to E the other night about this, and it was really odd that it came up because that wasn't even what I was initially going for, and
Mhm.
it caught me off guard so much that it took my mind off of everything, and I was sitting here trying to figure out how I feel, and it's almost like I don't want to let my mama down. You know what I'm saying? Like I lost her 5 years ago, and that was her, dire wish was that, we got to a better place where we could actually see each other, talk to each other.
Mhm.
And so I have been struggling with this for a while. I'm just gonna sit here, sit still, and try to figure out some other kind of way to try to tackle it. But I really do. I appreciate you, and I appreciate Felicia, and I thank everybody that sent prayers to me in the chat. I really do. It don't go unnoticed. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, in my opinion. And of course, we're with you too. You know, family dynamics it can be a lot sometime. I think, who the heck was I just speaking to? I think I was speaking to Royer. And everybody, Royer ain't playing. He's preparing for Beyonce. He's very serious. Okay, his outfit is getting made. He's doing it up. Okay, I love Royer, but he's very serious about this Beyonce. But I was talking to him, and I said, one thing I could say to anybody, if I could say anything about parenting, none of us are perfect. And we do the best we can in the moment and the time that we're doing it. Okay. And I'm not talking about these parents that are just crazy and, being crazy. I'm just talking about, just the average everyday parent. And I always pray for everybody that at some time, whether it's your siblings, your parents, or whoever, I always pray that you can circle back and just have that moment of peace and love and joy. Um, Definitely with you, in my opinion. And, I just have a feeling because of the person that you are, so giving, um, so sharing, so kind. And listen,
Well, Dave,
you,
I'm really mad at him because he left my child last night on the side of the road. My baby had to sleep in his car because I couldn't leave in my house at 1 o'clock in the morning. So I went and picked him up this morning. Luckily, he here with me. But I was just real upset because you left my baby on the side of the road to sleep in a car all night,
wow.
knowing I couldn't drive. So I'm really pissed off, and that was the reason why I got so emotional. And I don't know how
Yeah.
to deal with him.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad your baby is fine. Glad he was covered throughout the night. I'm glad you was able to go get him. So yeah, it's a lie. But Savannah's sending you hugs, in my opinion. Leo's praying for you and with you. So we're all got each other, right? We all got each other. Carrie, thanks for coming up. What are your thoughts?
I really enjoyed it. Like before I even came up, I said it's a fun, phenomenal show, and I saw numerology. I definitely think that there's. I don't want to say. I mean, when you say you believe in something, people kind of get spooked out.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'm
I
searching.
know.
I'm searching. You know what I mean? I'm searching for
Yeah.
the right
Words.
word to use. But then again, it's what I believe is how I think is how I feel. So I'm not
Mhm.
here to convince anybody.
Right.
But I believe that God is science.
Mhm.
Um, and so um, that's just my thoughts on it. And anything that's good is God, and she came from a place of good. So it was really insightful. I enjoyed listening to everyone else, and um, I'm gonna go back and listen to it again, listen to my
Mhm.
portion again, because I really need to concentrate on some of the things that she said,
Mhm.
and write them down verbatim, because
Mhm.
I really need to track down what was going on. Excuse me, specifically in 2015 to 2016. I know it was a lot
Mhm.
because it seems like my life has been a lot.
Mhm.
Um, just one thing after the next. So, um, and I hope that I'm able to take that time away sometime soon without feeling like I'm walking away from, you know, my grandkids
Mhm.
and feeling like I have to be the one to do it, you know,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
else things gonna crumble if I'm not here.
Mhm.
So hopefully I can cut that cord
Mhm.
because it's me. So
Yeah, I know. I know. Praying for you. And before I get the radiance, I'll say this really quickly, really short. So, outside of YouTube, I have a book club. I want to say this is with 7 years. I got to calculate up the years, but that's how long we've been together. And it's, think now it's 8 of us. Or maybe it's 9 if I include myself. Out of that 9, there's 7 originals from the beginning, from the onset. Um, One of my friends that was part of the book club, I met her in nursing school. She died at 40. She died at 40.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm a make the story real short. She had a nice sized family, and they had a family home. Her mother had passed maybe a few years before that, and it was the mom's, like her mom and her dad's home, and they both had passed or whatever. And so it was a multi-family home, and she was the one pretty much trying to hold everything down, just trying to do everything for everybody. And her therapist told her, she told me before she had even passed, that she said, you want to know something, you keep trying to just save everybody because you think they can't find a way. She said, but if you were gone, I promise you they would figure out a way. But they're not figuring out their way. And I'm not saying this is like your story, Carrie. She said, but they're not figuring out a way because they don't have to. because you're going to do it and they know you're going to do it. I mean, so she was paying for that house. She was paying for the place where she was living. She just was just doing everything for everybody. And, she had told my other girlfriend, before she passed, like, and it was all of a sudden, it wasn't like a known thing. She was like, I'm tired. And I just want to encourage everybody out there that it's hard for us a lot of times because we don't want to see things fall apart, but we gotta take care of ourselves first. And I promise you, all of the people we might be helping or are helping, if we wasn't here or in the scenario, they will figure it out. They will. They will. So I just want to offer up that piece of information. And Carrie, I really do pray that you find your way to get that moment for yourself, even if it only starts out with just a week and 3 days. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm praying that that will happen for you. And listen, thank you for always coming back to my channel. Thank you for all your input. Really, my channel is what it is because y'all come through. And all of us go back and forth. That's what makes a channel. Like, I couldn't do this by myself, right? This is an ensemble cast, all right? Anyway, Radiance, what are your thoughts?
Shout out to everyone. Thank you, Diva. Thank you, Felicia. I definitely want to say I did manifest this because I have been studying numerology for the past month. So this helps me understand it better, and I'm grateful for that. And I know we're past the halfway mark in 2023, but I just want to stand in agreement with everybody in the panel and in the chat and just send lots of love, new careers, lots of healing, lots of breakthroughs, a lot of miracles that they will manifest and come to full fruition before the end of the year. I will say that she was spot on because I did move to the new state hoping to meet this new person. I didn't move here for them, but it was like, okay, if it's gonna line up, it's gonna line up. But I didn't realize before I moved here that we were hours away. But she was spot on because I was thinking maybe I just ask this mystery person out myself. And then I wanted to be like outdoors, keep it light, where it's natural vibes, good energy, something like breakfast or coffee, keep it light. And I guess if it's meant to happen, it will happen. And I guess I'll keep y'all posted because E and all the smoke want all the deets. So
thank you, Radiance. I appreciate you. E, your final thoughts?
It's going to happen, or we're gonna find you a new man to go to breakfast with because I'm just not gonna tolerate it. In my opinion, as soon as she started speaking and it got closer to home, I started thinking about, the things that we spoke about. And I was like, oh, this is deep and how ironic. But to Carrie, Smoke, and myself, we need to make sure that we are going to Hobby Lobby and Michael's and Kohl's and Macy's because we need to stock up on our holiday decorations, y'all, because we're going to have the best holiday, she said. And, Smoke, I anticipate hearing about this mystery soulmate, or else I'm going to get, in my opinion, on the case because she could find out all the details. And I'm going to expose you on YouTube. I'm going to dox you.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
I thought this was excellent. I thought that, she was able to pick up on a lot of things. And, I'm interested in seeing what this year is going to be. I've read people saying, oh, listen, E in the chat. So I'm going to listen. I'm going to take my notes. I've met a few good fellows. And, we will see where it goes. But, I wanted her to preface that whoever this is, he's going to be 6'6".
Oh my God.
Brown skin and nothing too fancy, but between 60 and 100K a year will do nicely. And a 4-door vehicle and a one baby mama limit. Back in the days I used to do 2 baby mama limits. I give men two baby mama limits, but I ain't doing that this year. You got one baby mama. Anything more than that, I got to explore other options. But I thought this was beautiful. And to my last thing, Emmanuel Vasquez in the chat, and also to Sebastian, I'm disappointed in you two. You two should have been up here because I would have paid money to hear you all's numbers because I
Facts.
yes, I feel like we need to know what's going on with Sebastian and Emmanuel both. As much grief as they give to Candy, I need to know the numbers.
If those numbers are in alignment, I'm trying to tell you. Listen, child, you said a one baby mama limit. I prefer 0.
Hey, E, you remember now? She said you looking for somebody in the 11 month. That's the Scorpio.
Oh, excuse me. Scorpio, or what's the earlier part? Well, no, the later
No,
part
the
is
Scorpio is the early part. The late part is Sagittarius.
Lord. Mimi is a Sagittarius. I stick with the Scorpio, Lord. And we
Now I'm a Scorpio, Leo. I mean, E, you get along with me?
I do, but you're not November. Are you November? I thought you were October.
No, I'm November the 21st.
Oh, that's Leo who's October. I mean, yeah. Okay, well, we'll talk. I mean, I think one Scorpio, he was November the 20th, I think it was. And he used to threaten me to that he was going to take his life all the time whenever I threatened to leave him. And I do not want another situation like that. But Virgos are cool too.
Oh, well, he was unbalanced. That's all. You need to find your balance, Scorpio.
Okay, well, I'm
They
taking
hard to
application.
find.
Okay, Leo, your final thoughts?
I'm still weighing what just happened. I'm not able to process it quite yet.
Okay.
Because she said that 23 was the year of risk. And I have done everything I can not to be exposed to risk. So I'm not quite sure how to make of that. But what she did say was I was a 9 and we make decisions. And I do make decisions. And I'm that girl. Like if you show me something that is snakish or two-faced or anything like that, I make a decision. That does not mean I'm going to act irrationally on that decision, but I see you. I see you. And I make my decision, and that's it. I have cut people out my life continuously because I see something that's going to hurt me in the end. So she said one thing about that, you are emotion, right? So I am emotion. I love hard. I love really, really hard. And even if I make a decision about it, my love don't go away. What I decide is I'm not going to deal with that, whatever that is.
Right.
I do that. I make a decision and I don't make no grand, like, I've decided I don't make no grand declarations, but something in my mind says, okay, I see this, I see that, and I move accordingly to protect my emotions. And I'm not quite sure if I feel like on the surface it has served me well, but I don't know in the overall has that served me well. And I'm also doing, under pressure professionally, where at any minute I'm probably getting ready to get let go because, I'm a mouth runner. And so I say what I feel, and that doesn't, or what I believe to be true. and it does not bode well with people that I work for. So they've been figuring out a way to let go of me, and I've been ducking and dodging it and beating them at their own game, so to speak. And so I don't know. I'm still weighing it. It's risk out there that I have been dodging for a long time and been good at dodging it. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't made my decision.
Yeah. We're gonna pray it comes to you. And
please pray that it comes to me. Pray
Yeah.
that the decision comes to me.
Absolutely, I will. Absolutely, I will. And so, I'm a mixture of things. I'm a run my mouth type of person, but I had a bunch of work mentors. One I've known my son is 18, and I knew him years before I even had my son. And when I tell you he was my mentor throughout like my whole work career, and I learned through him like when to speak, when not to speak, how to navigate, how to move, how to win and not to lose, so to speak, right? Just a real quick short story. When I first went into corporate America, in my mind, and I did retail for a long time. And actually, retail was my real love, but that's a whole nother story for another day, right? But I used to always, because I felt like since I was short, I could wear short skirts. What's the big deal? I'm short. And so I never forget one day I came to work. He was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "Your skirt is so short. If you drop something on the floor, there's no way you could pick it up without showing all your business, right?" Anyway, that's just one of my little stories where, he just mentored me, like, and got me to a place where I'm able to now. Don't get me wrong, sometimes things just slip out my mouth and I realize it slipped out later.
Me too.
Got me to a place where I was able to navigate it a little bit better, because some people are so slick, and because it's just the simple fact of who they are, they think they can just do and say whatever, and you be like, "Yo, you really trying to get away with that?" But now I've learned, like, how to write the emails and how to say it in a certain way and so forth and so on. But it's a lot that I think we have to endure when it comes to work and school and like almost everything in our life. It's like everything in our life, we have to work from like 6 feet under, then get to ground level, and then work from there. Where many people, they start at ground level or way above. So it's a lot for us, and it tends to take a toll over a course of time, emotionally, physically, mentally. And it's like, well, Dad, can I catch a break? But that could be, just dealing with work, period. We could probably have a whole conversation, a whole live about that on a whole nother day. But I hear you and I feel you. And like we all said here, we're all connected. And we're gonna pray for each other. And I'm definitely praying for you, Leo. We praying on this mouth right here.
Eva,
Yes.
before you go to smoke, Emmanuel posted his birthday in the chat. I did the numbers. He is a master number, and he is number 11. And I forgot what Felicia said that meant, but I do find that interesting. So Emmanuel offered to take me out on a date. And so I'll let you all know how that goes on the after show with Diva.
I saw that. I did see that. Yes. If it's God's will, it will happen. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that message right there. Smoke, you're up.
Well, I'm just gonna say to E, he's a good man, Savannah. A good man.
A good man, Savannah. A good man.
The show is great, and just hearing everybody's different stories and experiences and what we're currently going through, what we've been through, was really encouraging. And just like I always think about this, and even think about like how so much of my life I always was kind of like regretted it, like, oh, I made so many mistakes, all this bad stuff happened to me. But it's just like those are my testimonies. And it's like,
Mhm.
you can't give a testimony without a test. And
Mhm.
remember my high school principal, she wrote in my yearbook, and I will never forget, she always told me, she's like, the darkest of days are always before dawn. And even in those moments where you feel like I just don't have anything left, or you lose all hope, if you just hold on just that one little bit, something amazing can happen that can just turn things around. So just like, yeah, just stay encouraged. I'm not saying every day is going to be perfect,
Mhm.
but it will be, if you, once you make it onto the other side, and your story will be something that encourages someone else who's going through the exact same thing you've been through. And so, yeah, I'm excited to see, what the rest of 2023 and 2024. And I'm so glad that Felicia confirmed what I was feeling, because I kind of dreaded being in my 30s, but it's just like, oh, this is actually kind of good. Like, my 30s are like my 20s, but just more common sense. I'm not making the same
Right.
mistakes. And it's just like, I've been in that phase of just like, okay, what's next? So the fact that she said the next 3 years are kind of like my seeding years, or sowing, like just starting to make those moves, I'm like, okay, I'm in the right direction. So it's just having the courage and the faith to do it. But can't wait for part 2 until we get Sebastian and Emmanuel up to see
Mm.
what their numbers are. Well, apparently Eve's already ahead of it, so she's gonna be going to Starbucks with Emmanuel when he comes down to ATL to visit her. And
Uh,
go to the OLG. As a matter of fact, no, Emmanuel, take E to Blaze. She seems like a shrimp and lobster girl.
No, if he hit it good, I'm gonna take him to Red
oh
Lobster.
my God.
This is not after dark, E. It is still
It's a Saturday
daylight.
afternoon. You know what, Miss Mag, your picture. First of all, your avatar is beautiful, but your picture. But you remind me. I always think when I see your thing, it reminds me of LB, and I often think, I wonder how she is and where she is.
Who's
L
LB?
LB she's a doctor. She used to come through when we did, I forgot what show, what housewife show. She used to come through a lot, but
Potomac.
Potomac. Oh, that's what it was, Potomac. Um, but yeah, every time I see your picture, I don't know why it reminds me of LB. It just reminds me, maybe your pictures are kind of similar, that smile or something, but it kind of reminds me of LB. And I always think to the back of my head, like, to make sure, like, she's good. Like when you used to seeing people's name or whatever, and you don't see it for a while, you just be thinking to yourself, you wonder like if they're good or not. But I think I do have her email. I might email her just to kind of check on her. Oh, Fifi said love and marriage too. Okay, so she did both of those, yeah. But yeah, I'm just, you just remind me of LB. But listen, guys, I had an amazing Saturday because of y'all. I'm glad I was able to do this. We were supposed to come on earlier today, but like I said, I had somewhere to go this morning. So I really do appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for being so open and so willing to share. Because I really feel like, even if we touch one person that's in the chat, whether it be now or later, is we touch the person, and I think that's great. Thank you again, Felicia. I love you. I'm going to email you, girl. You did an amazing thing for us from the bottom of your heart, and you came from a great, caring, and comforting place, and truly, truly do appreciate her. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Everybody hit that like button and enjoy.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Have a
All
great
right,
Saturday,
thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.